For some time here on Channel 6, we've been telling you about some of the interesting products made by this company, Ossur Americas, and we're very happy to have with us today the gentleman who heads the organization, Mr. Mahesh Sakani is with us today. Mahesh, welcome to the program. Good to have you with us today.
Thanks for having us.
You've been there since 2008. Your background is in marketing.
Correct.
DuPont, among other companies you've worked for.
That's right.
Extensive background, a lot of your education in Great Britain.
Yeah, I was born and brought up in London. Moved to the US around 16 years ago, in 1996.
Degrees in finance and marketing, and then you ended up trying schools here as well. A little bit of Yale University before you get a final degree at Yale.
Exactly.
Your MBA over there. So you've got the British tradition training as well as...
And I got sucked into the US.
Into the US MBA program as well.
Absolutely.
We've all enjoyed watching the Olympics the last several weeks, and one of the unique stories among the hundreds of unique stories in the Olympics is one of the gentlemen who was in the running competition, Oscar Pistorius.
Right.
We've seen the Paralympics sort of as a separate event. This gentleman was actually competing with everybody else in the running.
Right.
And we understand that your company actually produced both the legs he wears normally as well as the ones he runs in. I guess the one he runs in has spikes.
It's called the Cheetah.
Have spikes on them, right?
Cheetah, and it has spikes that we co-developed with Nike. So Oscar's been on we call it the Cheetah. It's commonly known as the Blade. He's often called the Blade Runner.
Right.
And he's been running on our legs for about 8 years. Now.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
It was wonderful to see someone, officially now they don't call them disabled, they call them challenged athletes.
Right.
And it was wonderful to see a challenged athlete be an Olympian.
Obviously, we're seeing, unfortunately, lots of folks coming back from combat these days. Survival rate much higher than previous wars, which is good news, but people losing limbs and obviously prosthetic devices becoming even more important now and more high-tech than they ever were.
Yeah, we make a lot of bionic legs now, very different kinds of powered prosthesis, and we have a lot of people returning actually back into conflict wearing our legs.
I understand many of those folks have been able to keep their enlistment in the military
for exactly that,
and go right back to their units.
They're very keen to move back.
Yeah, which speaks well for them, also speaks well for the products that you folks put together.
Thank you.
Well, not everything that you make is going to be used in the military or in the Olympics. You make a lot of products that are actually available to the public as well.
Right.
And we've been showing one of them here on Channel 6 for some time. It's a knee brace device, and it provides an alternative to surgery for many people.
Correct. So the unloader brace really addresses one of the afflictions or one of the epidemics in the US, which is osteoarthritis. Right. So the US right now, some amazing, startling statistics. Just less than 50 million, 46 million people in the US right now have a form of arthritis. And 1/3 of people over the age of 65 have osteoarthritis. And we've developed the unloader brace over the past 20 years to deal specifically with osteoarthritis, which is essentially when the cartilage between the two bones of the knee gets eroded just through wear and tear.
Right. And today more than ever, all ages are being encouraged to stay active, to be involved, whether it's golf or basketball or track or running or bicycle or whatever people might be doing. And here in this community, we just had a recent challenge between the two fitness centers. So, I mean, those kinds of things are going on in this community as well. You brought along a sample of it. We have shown it before.
I did. Okay, great.
Actually, we had a live person with one, but this is what it looks like, and you have it fit on a leg here. You said for 20 years you've been developing this, so it's obviously gone through some evolutions over that time.
Exactly. It used to be a strap-on brace. We're now actually launching a new version that's got a much easier maneuverability in terms of actually tightening up the straps. So this is, a very easy kind of mechanism. Before you had to put straps on. So we've been developing this brace over many years, and essentially it unloads the knee. It allows you to actually have mobility, less pain, less stiffness.
Right.
The things that allow you to do exactly what you were saying: play tennis, play golf.
It's interesting because for a lot of people, I guess they start off self-medicating. Taking 2 or 4 or 6 or 8 little pills every day to try and deal with the pain.
Right.
It gets bad enough, then they go to a doctor, maybe a rheumatologist, and they make suggestions.
Correct.
Ultimately, there's probably some discussion about surgery, which a lot of people are reluctant to get involved in. This certainly provides a much less invasive alternative to dealing with all of that.
That's exactly right. What it does is it delays the onset of OA. We always say there's only so many knee replacements you can have in your life. And at this point, we're seeing the reduction of the average age of being diagnosed with OA. In the early 90s, it was 72. That was the average age to be diagnosed.
Yep.
Now it's in your mid-50s.
Yep.
And if you go ahead and have a knee replacement that early, you're going to be going under the knife again. And what this brace actually allows you to do is the brace allows you to delay that onset.
Very interesting indeed, and I understand that it's not just something you go down to the local store and purchase. It requires some technique, some background, and I believe a prescription, correct?
Very good point. This is very much akin to a pharmaceutical in the way that you actually get it.
Okay.
So you have to go to your primary care practitioner or a specialist. They must prescribe it. This is very much a product that has to be prescribed, and that's very important.
Are doctors aware of this, or do we really have to, as the patient, almost make a selling job with the doctor ourselves?
I think there's an element of knowing what you think might be right for you. I think we're getting more and more used to consumers taking control of their own healthcare.
Sure.
So I think it never hurts to actually go in and have the conversation with a physician who, like you had said, would consider painkillers as the normal course of dealing with this. But we do a lot of education of physicians. We do a lot of seminars, and we provide a lot of training for physicians, so they are very familiar with the concept of unloaded bracing.
Obviously, as we're in the middle of the presidential election right now, a lot of discussion on medical insurance, medical care, Medicare, and all those things. I understand that Medicare
fully reimburses.
Can help with this. Yeah.
Medicare fully reimburses. The majority of the private payers fully reimburse. So this has been a very well accepted, an appropriate measure for dealing with osteoarthritis.
You know, it's interesting because so many companies today get to a point of success and that things sort of stop. You know, the old joke is the Coca-Cola formula is in a vault somewhere in Atlanta, and there's only two people that know the combination. They keep making it the same way.
Right.
You folks aren't standing on those laurels. You're continuing to evolve, whether it's in the Olympics, whether it's with the returning veterans, or whether it's the general public. You're continuing to come up with new products and new ideas. I understand you've got a clinical study going on with something new.
Well, what we have, we're fortunate that we're actually located here, and we have a very important research center in Foothill Ranch, and we're actually right now about to conduct a pretty large scale, one of the largest scale research projects of its kind. We're looking to recruit about 400 individuals, ideally from the local community here, as we're headquartered here, to actually participate in a research study, so we can continually evolve these products and be more effective over time.
So you're looking at 40 to 80 age group,
exactly,
I guess?
Exactly.
So that would be some of our folks here would be involved as well. We have the information on the screen for you there if you want to find out more. It's a local phone number, 330-8355. People can call that number.
Correct.
And get more specifics. They'll be talking with your R&D center.
Correct.
And getting more information. So like I say, you folks are not standing by locking up the formula in the vault. You're continuing to evolve. And as you say, this has evolved. The knee product that we've been talking about, the unloader has been changed over the last several years.
And it will continue to. And again, even in this research study, the protocol of having a physician participate, your physician participate by giving you a prescription will be a part of the process.
Right.
So we're making sure that we stay very true to what we have
Are
to
you
do.
looking for people that have specifically been diagnosed with arthritis, or you're just looking for, and you're looking for a test group that maybe isn't?
It will be predominantly people who have arthritis.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, again, if you think you might be interested in that study, give them a call and find out more. We thank you for joining us, and I guess we'll let you get back to running the show and getting your folks inventing more interesting products. Sounds great.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us today. Again, if you want to find out more about that study, there's the number on your screen, 330-8355. And again, you might be a candidate to participate in the next phase of this unique product. We'll be coming right back with more right after this.